If you don't currently use a Gua Sha tool on a regular basis, you need to be. There are so many benefits to using this little tool that go far beyond lymphatic drainage and sculpting and contouring, which is what we typically hear associated with a Gua Sha tool, especially for those of us that are over 40. If you carry a lot of tension in your neck area or various facial areas, if you wake up frequently with puffiness, or if you suffer from sinus pressure, this little tool can be extremely beneficial for you, as well as help with skin elasticity, smoothing, contouring as we age, and lymphatic drainage, which is important because our lymphatic system doesn't have its own pump, so the lymphatic drainage helps with our immune system. Today I'm going to share my current Gua Sha routine that I do for my neck and face area. It helps me, hopefully it will help you. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Let's go ahead and get started.
Starting with a clean face, you want to apply something to give the tool some slip. Usually a facial oil is used, although you can also use some kind of a cream. There are many types of oils to choose from. You just want to be sure it doesn't sink into your skin too easily, or you may have to reapply pretty often. You can customize your own Gua Sha routine to be as short or as long as you want based on the amount of time you have and what you're wanting to focus on. Today I'm taking you through a very thorough routine, including the back of my neck, which I include if I have time because I carry a lot of stress and tension there. I know a lot of you do too, so I thought it would be beneficial if I show you what I do on a more thorough day. If you want to see what some of my favorite types of gua shas are, why I choose some over others, stay tuned until the end and I'll be sharing those. Everyone's gua sha routine is a little bit different. I typically start with contouring and lifting and move to lymphatic drainage at the end. And sometimes I mix up the order I do things. You just have to find what works for you. We're going to start with the neck area and move to the face and then end with lymphatic drainage. One thing that's pretty important is how you hold your tool. You don't want to hold it perpendicular to your skin. You want to hold it as flat as you possibly can. Okay, jumping right into the back of the neck for those of you who carry stress or tension in this area. Throughout this video, I show roughly 3 passes in each area, but you can do more if you feel like you have an area that needs more attention. Here, I'm holding the tool so that that notch is directly over my spine and those protrusions are on the sides of my spine normally. I think I'm a little off center here because I'm filming, and I'm slowly gliding the tool up using medium pressure and putting a little bit of extra pressure at the nape of my neck just for extra tension relief. Because my skin is getting red, it looks like I'm pressing way harder than I am. It's perfectly normal to experience redness. You can see here that redness went away in about 10 to 20 seconds within the amount of time it took me to change camera angles and turn my tool to the curved side. I just moved to a different portion of my neck and used a part of the tool that is more comfortable for me in this area. You really just have to play around with your tool and see what fits and feels good to you on the part of the body that you're working on at that moment. I also tend to put more pressure on the sides and back of my neck than I do on other parts of my body. Just a little FYI here, the front of our neck and our facial skin is more sensitive and can't handle as much pressure as these areas, and sometimes I need quite a bit of pressure relief here and lots of repetitions. After repeating that process on the other side of the neck, that completes the back, and now we can move to the front, starting with the neck. Although I'm holding the tool the same way here because it still feels comfortable to hold it this way, I'm using much lighter pressure because it's the front of the neck, it's more delicate. I'm still using slow, deliberate strokes and wiggling the tool at the top of the stroke. At the front of the neck, I'm using even lighter pressure and taking it all the way to the front of the chin. This can help smooth and tighten the neck and chin area if this is an area of concern for you. Now for your jowls or just for general lifting, this is fantastic to do. Just take that notched area right along your jawline all the way from your chin to your earlobe using light to medium pressure. I like to put my fingers on my chin as kind of an anchor. You don't have to do that. Next, I'm taking that soft curved side in an upward motion from the middle of my lips all the way up to my ear. This helps with your lips, your nasolabial folds, and just with lifting in general. I know I sound redundant in this video because I keep saying lifting and lift, but that's kind of what this is all about. This movement in particular focusing still on the nasolabial folds and cheekbones. Some days I feel like my nasolabial folds are more pronounced than others, and I like to give them an extra massage and some extra focus. Speaking of extra focus, it's time for the under eye area. I almost always do more than 3 reps here because it's a problem area for me. I just like to smooth and lift here as much as I can. Next, I target the hood of my eye. As we get older, we get heavier here, so any smoothing and lifting can be extremely beneficial. Switching back to the flatter curved side, and I had to switch hands here because it was just more comfortable for me to use my other hand. I'm gliding the tool directly over my brow in an upward and outward motion onto my forehead area. You're going to see a lot of redness come through as I proceed onto my forehead area a little bit further. I'm not pressing harder, it's just an area that doesn't get stimulated like this. I'm also keeping up with that wiggling motion at my scalp for some extra stimulation there. Over the years, we've lost a lot of elasticity in our skin, particularly our foreheads, which is why fine lines and wrinkles show up here so easily. So all of this is stimulating our dermis layer, releasing tension, and relaxing our facial muscles so that we can improve some of that elasticity that we've lost. Now here you're seeing me do something I don't see in many gua sha routines. I don't remember where I first saw this, but I feel like there is something behind it. Our nose never stops growing as we age, and the tip can sag. It just tends to look bigger and bigger the older we get. So to help keep the center of your face lifted, take your gua sha tool from your upper lip over your nose and your forehead all the way to your hairline. Some days I can see a pretty big immediate difference if I complete one side before the other. Other days it's more subtle. Sometimes I can barely tell. But aside from this being more about cumulative and long-term effects, I can always feel a big difference. Anything done on one side needs to be done to the other before moving on to lymphatic drainage, which is what we're doing next. I'm gliding the tool along the arch of my brow towards the front of my ear. There's a lymph node in this area. If you're feeling puffy under your eyes, this is great for lymphatic drainage there. You would just start under your eyes and head to the same spot in front of your ear. And now I continue to glide the tool from that point all the way down my neck to my collarbone, and I repeat that process 3 times, but you can do it more if it feels good to you. This part always feels the best to me. I glide the tool from my chin, along my jawline, up to my ear, and all the way down my neck to my collarbone and kind of wiggle it there a little bit. Repeat 3 times, and then repeat all of that on the other side, and then you're done with the lymphatic drainage part. There are different shapes, sizes, and materials to choose from when it comes to gua sha tools. Stone is probably the most common material, with stainless steel being a close second. When we're talking about stone, ideally you want to go with a natural stone. The drawback is how fragile it is. If you drop it, it will break. Most commonly you hear about jade and rose quartz, which you can see here in 2 different sizes. But there are other less common stones, such as this bean stone. This is from Colleen Rothschild, and I particularly like it because of the wrist strap, which keeps it from dropping and breaking. I enjoy using stainless steel in the mornings when I wake up puffy. It stays chilled a long time, and to re-chill it, you just run it under your faucet really quickly, and it's ice cold. Most of them look like the one that's been on your screen, but my favorite is the one that I'm sliding onto your screen right now that's frequently out of stock, and for that I apologize, but I'm showing it to you just in case it is back in stock when you happen to be watching this, because I love everything about it. It's a 2-in-1 cryo and gua sha tool that's filled with this liquid to keep it extra chilled, to give you extra depuffing and contouring all in one. And the thick pebble shape is so comfortable to hold and makes it easy to maneuver, and I just love the way it feels every time I use it. These are just a few of the many tools to choose from. I just wanted to show you what I have and enjoy.
That's really all there is to it. It's not complicated. You can, of course, customize it to make it your own, to be shorter or longer depending on the time you have and how much time you want to spend. If you currently have a gua sha routine, I'd love to know if you learned anything additional or took any tips from this one in the comments down below. And if this did benefit you in some way, if you took anything from it, I would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up, and if you would share it with someone you think could benefit from it. That would be great too. Subscribe if you're not already. If you enjoy everyday beauty made easy, that's what my channel is all about. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.